quickly. First
Yeah.
couple of things to get out of the way, because I know people are gonna have questions about it. People keep bringing it up, and I keep telling them, Dragon Impact is not in the main because I consider like it's only good against. Let me see. I think what is it, Reiner? Or not? Yeah, it's only good against Reiner and somewhat good against Godzilla, but not really. I'm when I think of like the top characters that I'm really worried about, it doesn't do anything to Mikasa. It doesn't do anything to Rodan, and I still respect Rodan a lot in this format. Even though a lot of people even though he didn't get a single piece of support, I still think he's wildly powerful.
That's not true. He got
Uh,
all the air attune cards, and I agree with you.
oh
But
shit, never
continue.
mind. I lied. I lied. Of course, I didn't even remember the air part, but like he's wildly powerful. And like I respect. There's a lot of other characters that are just like there's an incredible amount of hyper aggro decks in this format now, just like that all built up, including Aaron now, and and Aaron's like terrifying. I can't. That guy is like ridiculous. But the point is it doesn't work, and what like the reason Ryukyu is good now is because she's gonna draw a bunch of cards every single turn, every single block, like she's drawing a card like every other card in the deck. There's 30 cards in the deck that draw one and then can put in momentum, but you don't have to put in momentum every time, uh, like almost ever necessarily. Like this, and you don't have to buff your attacks because your attacks are just like or like 5 and 6 damage consistently. Uh, so that's why I don't have it in the main deck. Uh, and I have 2 copies of Titanic Leap. I don't want to play a lot of attacks necessarily, but I'd play more of that, just because it's really hard to block. And this deck plays 4 VME because I think it's the best momentum input in the entire game. Just it's so fucking gross in this deck. It's so wild.
Yeah.
And then you have plants, of course. I play a copy of plants. If I could play 6 copies of VME, I would. I can't. I can only play 4. Like the air decks can play 6 copies of it, but like I can't play it, unfortunately. So this deck 60 specifically because of VME, because VME is kind of a win condition in Ryukyu. It just so many decks like struggle to like deal with the fact that Ryukyu will like often after her turn 2 if she's going first and her turn 1 if she's going second, she'll have already 2 cards in momentum, like because you open any copies of like Trust in Armin or Pro Hero, like you can build, like you can draw into more builds, and then you also play new training methods just to make it easy. Hanji's the only like 3 diff, and I think that card's incredible, even more just because it's a draw 2 when you can end your turn with no cards and still draw 2. The one thing is I don't I just I hate I don't have anything from Mikasa. There's 12 cards in the side. Yeah, Battle for the Future, Dragon Impact, and Face Shield were already in my side, and I'm thinking about compressed weights. And I took out Keiko's Aid because I just don't feel it's good enough in this deck, because you can just always block. It is how I feel about it. But like I just don't feel like Keiko's Aid is good against like Mikasa because it only works on 1 attack, and then they still go off to the races. I want to play Ultra Compressed Weights, but I just don't know how good it is. And I wanted to know what do you think about putting Battle in the Future in the main in this deck. Did I cut out there for a second?
No. So you said
Okay.
you said a lot.
Sorry.
I'm digesting.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay.
It's a lot, but like it's because I've thought a lot about this deck, so.
I am
You can give me
trying
whatever thoughts
everything
you
in my
have.
power to empty my cup for you.
Okay. Are you really trying to think about Why isn't he playing Dragon Impact? Is that the big thing?
If I had a 4 difficulty attack that said enhance -1 difficulty to every attack that I play and draw an attack card, you would play that card, right?
-1 difficulty to all my attacks.
To every attack you play, and draw an attack. It doesn't say draw a card. It says draw add an attack card to your hand. You would play that card, right?
I don't think I would if it's a 2-check at this moment, to be honest.
Interesting.
This deck isn't trying to like like this deck is like the best poke deck I've ever played right now. Like you can poke them maybe twice at the most, and then just play the best defense ever,
Okay.
because of VME. Like in every single, like if your block ones are just insane on every single attack, and like half your foundations. You just and you have total speed control with Ryukyu.
Okay. Well, I'm here for it. I'm down to be the fan, be your supporter. But I do think that it is crazy you're not playing Dragon Impact, and
Okay. No worries.
I'll be there to say it.
Okay.
Especially
So
with how
you're also there.
It works with Vast Strength of an attack. Dragon Impact Vast Strength is 5 attacks, which is like crazy. like you turned your 2-card string into 5 strings, and then it rocks. But we can do that with Dragon Strike and feel okay with it as well. But that's okay. So
Fast
here,
Strength really isn't necessarily just for strike, because Dragon Strike's just better as a flip that draws a card, and like you don't really always you want to pick it up sometimes, but like Fast Strength's just a phenomenal defensive card in my opinion. That's more important to me.
sure, yeah. I think that's fair. If you seal Dragon Strike with its own ability, you are still allowed to pick it up with Vast Strength. Just so you know. So you don't have to not seal draw stuff. You can do it twice. So you just like take your 1 Dragon Strike, and I destroy my foundation to flip 2 of their foundations and play 2 5 mid for 9s if I want. Right?
Yeah. That works. That's a good point.
So the things that I'm not in love with in the deck, like instantly off the bat, is I don't think you need the interdimensional plants. I think that just the 4 maneuvers are fine, and we'd rather this be a foundation than plants.
I just I wanted another momentum dub that's like that. I like that this card also like it also just has like, if you find it, it's really decent against decks that ruin you, because instead of ruin you, you get value out of it. That's the one thing I've enjoyed about it. I was playing 2 of it. You get to get rid of your own foundations, like instead of your opponent making you get rid of them, and you get value out of getting rid of your own foundation.
Interesting.
That's the way I looked at plants, because like a lot of decks, like all the death decks that like make you like get rid of your foundations because they're playing ruin and more ruin and just pop, because a lot of death decks can do it, not just Reiner. This lets you like get rid of it yourself. That's how I look at it, at least.
The other card that I'm not in love with is Meeting Hanji.
Okay.
You have so much draw power in your deck, you don't need flip, discard to draw 2. It could just be anything else.
Okay.
And if you don't like the cards in your hand, just stuff them in your momentum with Ryukyu, right? Like, just be fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. To answer your question, Battle for the Future, should you mainboard it? I think one of is not a bad idea. I think Battle for the Future is good. On the turn that Mikasa goes in and like she's like whittling you down, and you're like, you play good defense and you blah 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 blah, and they go for the second to last card in their hand and they play it, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna give this +X+X, and you just Battle for the Future that card. You look at them and go, actually, I need one more from you. That's a great use of your momentum, right? The issue is that Battle for the Future and maneuver equipment actively fight each other. And so, do you want efficient blocking, or do you want one guaranteed this move doesn't deal damage? That's the question we have, right?
Okay.
And so, like, I think both of them are useful. I think both of them have their place, but it is a what am I supposed to, or when am I supposed to play one versus the other? But taking out a plants for a Battle for the Future, I think makes total sense to me.
Okay, I could do that. I could see that actually.
So I'm gonna cut this.
I didn't know how to put it in.
And I'm gonna do this. The question is like, all this card says is it asks your rival to play one more, which vertical maneuvering equipment already kind of does, as long as you have cards in your hand. So things like Trust and Armin, number 10 that day, all are like pseudo battle for the future, just because of how much speed hate you have on vertical, right? Giving something -6 speed and blocking with a card in your hand is probably just as good as when you play this thing, discard it from the card pool, right? And so like this is actually a 5th copy of vertical, as opposed to what you were saying with the whatever, right? This is just the battle is a little more expensive because it's a 2-for-1 momentum trade rather than a 1-for-1 momentum trade.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm missing out of your deck is you just don't have any low blocks. I understand that you have vertical maneuvering equipment, but everybody knows that this might be pound for pound the best card in the set. And so Asset Hate is going to be coming out in droves. And so if you just don't have low blocks without vertical, you might just get punked for free. Right?
Okay. I can understand that.
And so like maybe whenever we look at our block zones, all of these mids, something could change, right? Meeting Hanji easily could be a low block. Refreshing Blend could be a one of. Maybe we take Mashos and put it in the sideboard for a low and like change some stuff out, right?
I think Blend should be a 2 of, kind of. It's the other really good momentum outlet in this deck. Just it's just because
you
like
know your character is a momentum outlet, right? Like your character gives +4 damage.
Yeah. I guess. I really like
she just double damages every move that you play. Like this one's for 10, just because you played it. This is a 5 high for 10 for free, just for existing.
Yeah.
I think that everything you're saying on defense is like totally chill. I think that you are undervaluing Ryukyu just like slamming 4 damage whenever their defenses are down. Spending 2 momentum for +3/+4 is crazy. It's crazy.
I understand. I guess maybe it's just my warped focals and my practicing online, but fuck, man, I've lost unironically every single Mikasa matchup, like on the first or second try. Like I can't kill him efficiently. It's so fucking rough.
Do you want me to burst the bubble of why that's happening?
Tell me it's Dragon Impact. I'm not gonna be surprised.
No, it's not Dragon Impact.
Oh, what is it?
It's the life symbol.
Oh yeah, okay.
The life symbol doesn't have the tools to fight that deck. You should be playing Earth.
That's fine. I can understand that. If you were
ready?
saying like, oh,
Let's watch this.
you can like.
This card has the Earth symbol. 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 Earth symbol. Earth symbol. Earth symbol. This one has life attuned. It doesn't matter. This one has life infinity. Doesn't matter. So the only cards that you're losing out of the list that you currently have, you've brought to me, are Meeting Hanji. Meeting Hanji has the life attuned. You don't have to. So you get to play this one. Is Masha Concealment and Syndicate Target. And no, you still get this one because it's attuned. Sorry, you don't get Hand Axe Swing, but there is a 4 diff low attack, 3 low for 6 that exists that you could play that has this same one low block.
That card. I hate that card. I get why. You would play that in that version, I guess. I just hate that it's 3 speed.
You also lose Air Force Blast.
You also lose. That's the best attack in the deck. That isn't Dragon Strike. Yeah, I remember why now. Like when you mentioned Earth, like the when they like the fact they lose so many, like just I like the fact that you just draw so many cards in this deck and it's like so efficient. It just I like you said, yeah, it doesn't have a tool to beat like Mikasa. The thing is like I guess the Ryukyu's list can also beat Reiner really easily. Like this deck I've seen perform so well against like the Reiners, and it makes me feel so good because they can't debuild me fast enough. just because you're playing 30 cards that say draw one card. It just comes up.
No, I get that.
It was the math for me, but like if you really want, I guess I can make an Earth list at some point. But I'd still rather like work with this one for the moment.
I'm so down. I'm
this
very
is
down.
because the one thing about like the Earth build is it's a lot more expensive. From what I remember, it needs armors as well, I believe, right?
You don't need armor. Armor's a good card.
It's just because I don't think you have like 18 attacks without you need like a couple right? You'd play like I guess Dragon Strike, yeah. Ugh. I understand.
We play this one. This one's
bro,
crazy.
I hate bro. I've been living
up.
no, you don't understand. It's just I've been living this like this. It's like a drug to see a number 4 in the bottom right on an attack.
Sure.
And like I've been playing a lot of decks and I just keep building a lot of them and just keep thinking, what if it was just all four check attacks?
Homie, I'm playing Smiling Tide in this format. I get it.
No, I know. I was the one that told you. I was one of the people who told you about it.
I get it.
No, it's not Dragon Strike. Kit. I meant Impact. I meant Impact. Impact's the one I don't like because it's a 2-check.
So, I think because it's the life symbol and because of everything you've got going on, that the only cards that I would recommend changing is Masha Concealment should probably go into the sideboard. In case you find a deck that needs their foundations, because you already have Dragon Strike to deal with problem foundations. If they have a lot of foundations, you can't what you can't deal with Dragon Strike, you have to deal with Mashos. So be it. It comes in. I think that either Incredible Display or Refreshing Blend gets dropped down by 1, and Hanji leaves the deck altogether because we need more low blocks.
What? Just put more lows in there.
We just need low blocks. Whether that is just you put in 2 more high value target, 1 more syndicate, and we go find a one of. It could easily be Life Foundation low block search.
I was playing what is that one
Steadfast
with Muscular
Resolve.
on it?
This one's great. Response Destroy Foundation. After an attack is played, it gets +1 or -1 damage. Perfect.
Okay.
It makes your moves hit a little harder. It makes their moves hit a little less. And there was that foundation destruction that you were looking for with your asset, but now it's on every attack, potentially on every attack that is played in the game. They can't ruin you if you respond to Destroy the Face Downs first, right? It's like this card uses it the way that you want it to.
Okay.
Right? Anything else?
Yeah, let's slot it in.
That does that. Agency Trainees says that you get to build in bonus cards a little quicker. Pump Up. Pump Up's a crazy card. Pump Up's so strong.
Yeah, Pump Up's the one I was. Sorry, the stream's a little behind, so when you say words, I'm like, gotta wait a couple seconds.
Are you watching me on Discord?
No, I'm not. I'm smart. I swear.
I'm streaming in Discord.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, I was watching the stream. That's why I was like, ooh. But yeah, no, I was playing Pump Up as like a 3 of in the deck at a certain point because, unironically, like the ceiling was kind of crazy because you have a bunch of blank foundations that just don't do anything.
Yeah,
so
these ones are incredible for flipping. Yeah. My question is if we wanted to put this in the sideboard.
Yeah, I'd take out an Incredible Display because it's cheaper.
Fair.
Take out one of those.
Fair.
Yeah.
I am off by 1 again. Block zones. Did I just not put it in the deck?
Ooh, the Steadfast, it doesn't look like it.
60.
Bingo.
And now, you are not in single-digit low blocks. And so, if somebody has a way to interact with your asset, you are still able to actually defend yourself.
Yeah.
But
all right, I need to ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? No. What are you gonna say?
I think that there's only one playable life character right now.
It's Vash, right? Psych.
It's Ymir. I think Ymir is the only playable life character.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can understand that. I don't know if I agree with that. I think I think Ryukyu has legs on life. I think it. I don't know what it is to beat Mikasa. It just can't. That's fair. But I think it just beats the rest of the field pretty cleanly, or fairly, I guess you could say.
I think that the life symbol right now has a problem versus Mikasa. I think it has a problem versus smiling, right? Like what do you do on turn 2 that isn't vertical?
I side in all 4 battles, and
Battle for the Future.
Yeah, I side in all 4.
You know the Smiling Titan is playing Quima's task, yeah?
No, they're not.
Yeah,
they didn't know that.
I'm playing 4 Quima's task in my Smiling deck right now.
I better have it. That's fair. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got
Smiling Titan has Koinos. I didn't realize they were on Koinos.
These bad boys
or
sitting on
Showdown. Showdowns work too, right?
Yeah, Showdowns work too, right? They're a little harder to play because you have to commit 2 extra foundations. But like an action is not like an end all be all, right? Because like if I know that you're playing Battle for the Future, then I'm putting in the same idea that like Barrier Shield also beats Smiling. So why would I not play a 3-diff action that just beats your idea, right? My action beats your action. I still hit you for 12 or 12.
They play the cancels for the cancels.
Yeah.
Fair.
And so like your only answer is vertical in order to fight that deck, and this says that you only let me have +1/+4 rather than +4/+4 on my stuff, right?
+2 if it's a throw. Yeah.
Right, and it's even more so depending, like, and that is the thing. Under the Earth symbol, you have things like Defending Pageant Queen, which says destroy, puts its attack speed to 1. Do you want to beat Mikasa? That's how you do it. Is you block something super late. I Defending Pageant Queen and I block. Right? I didn't even have to use vertical maneuvering equipment.
I feel like a hipster for a moment because I don't want, or like an emo person who doesn't want to follow mainstream shit. I hate Earth. It's just it's too good. Yeah, you're probably right.
That's fair. If you want to beat Mikasa, you play Learning the Standard. They hit you with a 3 damage move that is going to draw them a card, and you say you have to play a non-attack card next. The thing about your so have we talked about card jobs before?
No.
So every card does one of 4 things, right? And it leans more into one of these 4 directions, right? Aggro, defense, flow, disruption, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard this with you before, to be honest.
Okay, so aggro cards are ways that you reduce your opponent's life points to 0. Ryukyu is very much an aggro character because her moves are big, and she makes her moves big, right? She gives +4 damage to everything. Defense are cards that keep you alive. Cards like Vertical Maneuvering Equipment is a defense card. It's minus speed. It's zone coverage. Flow is cards and abilities that make your deck move correctly. The idea of a flow card is Ryukyu, draw 1, add a momentum, is a flow ability. New Training Method is a flow ability. I will response, commit, flip. After I check a foundation that matters to me, I will add it to my hand. This is not actively killing you. It is making my deck and my game plan better. And then Disruption, things that actively make my rival's game plan worse. The response on Vast Strength is a disruptive ability. With me?
I'm following.
Okay, so your deck is a defense flow card, right? Syndicate. This is a flow card, aggro card, defense card. This is a defense disruption, which cool. We have 3 of those. This is a flow card. This is a disruption flow card. But in your deck, it's only a disruption card because you don't want to use it to pick up Dragon Strike because of the lack of value. This is a flow card because it just re-readies your board. And it's a defense card because it gains you health. And this is an aggro or defense card. You don't actually have enough. You have so much flow. And this is Ryukyu's idea. You have so much flow, and you don't have enough disruption for what the field is doing. You have 2 cards in your deck that disrupt things. Incredible Display and Vast Strength. That's it. That's all you have.
It's just not enough on life. Okay. That's fair.
Right? And so whenever you take all of your, ready? Dragon Strike is a disruption card, right? But every other card is just a flow card, right? That's its ability is it's blank, so Ryukyu can draw a card, stuff momentum. That's it. That's the reason you're playing this blank ass critical role bad card, is so that Ryukyu works. Not because hand axe swing is good, which is why cards like this are so good. Because this card says that this is a disruption ability, and when they go to deadlock, you draw 2 cards and selectively flip their foundations. So if they go to 11 foundations and you play a move, play this, you're an 8-hander, and the 2 best pieces on their board are gone now. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The life symbol as is does not have enough disruption and enough specific defense for what is happening in the meta, in my opinion. Right? You get to cheat a lot of this because of this card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the last thing that I'll say about it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that this is a bad deck. I don't think that Life Ryukyu, if you went and you played in Atlanta, that you would go X and OX, right? I don't think that you would lose every game that you ever played. This is a good deck. This is a good character who, if the deck flows correctly, can just murder you for free. She puts +4 damage on whatever move that you want. If you disrespect Ryukyu, she just murders you. I think that if your game plan does not work as well as my game plan, or if I have ways to interact or interrupt what your game plan is doing, I don't know that your Ryukyu deck can interrupt mine enough for you to win, right? We're playing tug of war, and you're only focused about pulling on your side and not about throwing banana peels at mine.
But there isn't a lot of banana peels to throw on life.
Under the life symbol, correct.
Yeah.
And that is the one big issue with Life Ryukyu. Because hey, I've been playing with Mitch on the grind, and I looked at him and I went, hey man, I really like the life symbol after last format. And the life symbol, we got a bunch of attuned cards from AOT. Life Ryukyu has to be good, right? And he goes, here's a list of 15 cards under the Earth symbol we don't get access to. And what did we gain under the life symbol that we don't already have under Earth? And I was like,
Seemed that good. That's
Syndicate target. Dude.
0-6 nuts. 6 it's busted.
Nuts. It's so crazy. And that's just how I feel, right? Like I think that there are moves that you can do. I believe that. But I think that the ceiling caps out under the life symbol. But Ryukyu's really good. She got access to a bunch of flow cards.
I was gonna ask the one thing I was gonna ask you now that we're basically done mostly discussing this is how do you feel about slamming the other 2 Titanic in? I think I don't know if it's optimal. I just like the thought process is like it's a better check in the deck and like but I don't know. I don't know.
So it's a better check in the deck, right? And whenever you look at your difficulty curve, like it's high, right? Your attack difficulty curve is very high.
Yeah, but you'd cut like a 5 down to begin with, right? You know, I would never cut down the 4.
I mean, it's probably just Air Force Blast then, right? Because it's the high block.
Yeah.
But you said that this was the best attack in the deck.
Because of stat wise, but it's cuttable.
And so is Air Force Blast better than Titanic Leap?
I don't know. That's actually I don't know. That's the thing. What do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I also, again, I'm trying to empty my cup. This is Ryukyu for her entire life has been a stringing character. Right? Of like I play a bunch of 4 difficulty moves. Like the only 5 diff that I play in my deck is Dragon Strike. Right? And that's classic Ryukyu. But you're doing something that's off color. That's different. and that's okay. As I mean, people should experiment with that, right?
The, this is just like this. Yeah, I try to take this deck in like it tried to stay away from strings and become like the best mid range it could be.
Sure.
Is like that's how I wanted to take it. Just but like yeah, with Air Force Blast for example, I don't know if it's because like I said, I'm only trying to like maybe poke once or twice a turn, not necessarily even pump the attack unless I feel confident that they're not going to block it, right? Because the momentum's a really good resource. So like hitting them for like 6 in one turn, or hitting them for like 9, and then you have another turn that when you're ready and you feel like the the things are down, you just head in and kill them. And like Titanic Leap's like the best poke, just because you slam it, they can't stop it. If you have VME, it's hitting for sure. You can also just pump 4 on it with Ryukyu as well. Like the card's crazy. It also is a 4 check. It's also a +1 mid. But like I don't know if because it's an 8 diff, if it's better than Air Force Blast or not.
Are you down?
I wonder what you think.
Are you down to commit 5 resources for this on turn 2? Are you down to commit 5 resources for this on turn 3? When does this card become okay to check bad on? What turn? How do you feel about this card if you have on turn 2 you have 2 of them in your hand? Do you feel okay there? Like these are the questions we have to ask.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, I do. That card's like it's because the block makes it really easy because all of them are also draw 1 blocks. I do. Sure. I actually do block with attacks in this deck, which is heresy, I know. But like the blocks are just so efficient. So like I will gladly use an attack even if it means I don't get to damage them. Usually, it just sucks a little, just a little. But I think it's okay.
That's fair.
But that's what I'm trying to do with this deck, right? Like I would never try to play 2 of these in the same turn unless like I have like I don't know 12, and like I don't fail the first one, I guess. But like I think I think I could probably realistically be okay with like checking it. I think I have just played it on like 5 foundations and been like, okay, it's okay, we'll come it out, and then you build 4 and pass because you are drawing 4 foundations because you drew blanks as well.
Sure. I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, run it. I don't think 19 attacks is that big of a deal. Or if you want to cut a 5 diff for it, that's okay too.
I want 18, just because I don't want more than that.
So it's either swing or blast, right? Because the Dragon Strike is just too much disruption, and actually the Deadlock response.
Yeah. I guess we'd cut the blast then. 2 of those.
So you do this, and I think that you only need 3. I don't think playing the 4 of is correct. I think it's fine. 2 or 3 for leap. If you feel like you were missing it, obviously like cut another blast, put in the leap, or maybe cut a swing, put in the leap, and just see where it goes from there. You know.
Mhm. I'll come back to you with an Earth deck in September. I'll be a fucking normie.
That's
bro.
That's fair.
I'm just trying. Earth is so expensive, like in comparison, from what I remember looking at it. Especially with the sideboard. The sideboard is just way more expensive.
I think most of what your sideboard is now gets to like stay, right? Like Battle for the Future is infinity. This has Earth. This has Earth. This has infinity. So you're losing Keiko's 8 and Masho's.
No. Only the first 3 were like in there. The last 3 were just thoughts.
Oh, sure.
Just cards that was like I don't know. Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, I guess I'd probably be playing Impact in the Earth build. That's different.
I mean, because of how Titanic
because you don't have
works, enough. You could you could play a bunch of you could play all of the 4 diffs, right? And then instead of playing Impact, you just play a couple leaps instead, and they do like this card represents it's a 10 mid for 12, right? As long as you're willing to sell out for it. Yeah. And so like you are paying more on the front end rather than risking paying more on the back end.
That's also part of the reason I kind of liked. I remember thinking about. Thank you for reminding me about that. But like, yeah, that was part of the thought process at some point. And it's like safer is the thought process being a 4 diff or a 4 check. It's just that it doesn't have the commit.
The
That's all,
fort check does not necessarily matter, right?
I,
The
I
fort-
like the fact that I don't have to worry about checking twos. That's really that's
what
that's
I'm
a lot
saying
to me,
is
but
you're always going to commit cards for this. Always.
yeah.
There is no you do not run any 8 checks in your deck. 0. This card only sometimes. This card is a gambling card. Card is insurance. I am guaranteed to get a big result, but I am actively paying for it. Rather than I'm gonna get a big result whenever I have this card in my hand, but I'm going to gamble if it is on top of my deck. Right? It's just a different mentality. I do not think that one is necessarily correct or not, because I've never played Titanic Leap Ryukyu. But I can tell you as a player, I'm so down to gamble. I'm down.
I'm down to spin the wheel and hit a 2 on my 3 diff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down to not play a 3 diff. I'm down to play safety 2s. Safety 2 diffs. Because of how good this character is.
Fair. That's fair. I can understand that.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Okie dokie.
Thank you
Thanks.
for the patience this month. I do greatly appreciate it. Go on and give this thing give it a try. Give it a whirl. Keep rocking it. Tell me how good
Yeah.
VME is.
I'll tell you about how this deck's. I'll tell you about how crazy this deck is when it's not playing Ryukyu or against whatever that other card is called. What is it called? Mikasa. Yeah. Like the card's a plague. It was a mistake, and it should be actually like errated immediately or banned.
Can I send you on a fun trip?
Are you gonna give me down memory lane?
Mm-hmm. I'll just show it. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is a Templar guy, right?
Yep.
Because Sam talks about this guy and this deck a lot. I remember this.
Response commit.
Yeah.
1 foundation. After your punch attack deals damage, draw a card. Enhance your turn. Discard a card. Discard a punch attack from your card pool. Period.
So what happened to this guy?
This guy never won anything. There was 2-3 guys in the people in the community that ever played him. He was fine, right? The big difference is Reese isn't a 7-hand size character. Reese doesn't give a bunch of speed, and Mikasa isn't locked to punches. But this is the exact same ability that's on a character card. That's on the character, right?
So they were like, "Oh, this isn't good enough." Apparently, they're like, "Let's make it a little better," and then they accidentally.
Mikasa's the most powerful character in that show, and it's not close. It makes sense that she is the best character card from Attack on Titan.
I don't know if I agree she's the most powerful character. Levi is in that show. I don't know. But yeah, I can understand that.
But yeah,
I think Levi's stronger.
I think that
in the show and not the game.
Mikasa is certainly tough to fight, and you gotta have the answers. You gotta figure out what to do. But with that, thank you much for hanging out, buddy. I do appreciate it. Stay on the line long enough. I'll shoot you your list, and you have a good turn out. Okay.
Yeah.
See you, buddy.